delighted to have this opportunity to give you a very short presentation, so don't get worried. I've only got 4 slides, so you'll be able to get to your break very quickly. But they're important slides because the world is changing. Since the HLPE, that's the high-level panel of experts, report on agroecology from the Committee on Food Security, the tables have turned and there's a real change happening in terms of the seriousness with which agroecology is being taken at national and international levels, as well, of course, as it has been locally in many places. So the coalition is a coalition of the willing. And that is really important because what has been holding up the use of agroecology to transform food systems has often been difficulty in getting everybody to agree. And if you have to have consensus before you can take action across a very large number of constituencies, then it's often difficult to make progress. And if you do get agreement, it's often watered down. And we could see that, for example, in the way that the HLPE report during the process of developing the policy convergence, the recommendations at the Committee on World Food Security that came out from that, they were much less transformative than the original report. So here what we have, and it's fantastic that UNFSS was a process in which people could take part. So the coalitions are voluntary, and this means that you can make progress along the lines that you want. And already there are 30 countries, including the European and the African Union, and over 50 organizations that have joined this coalition. So it's already moving really fast and furious. What is it trying to do? It's very ambitious. It's all about action, and it's all about applying the universal agroecological principles at local levels. And what is required nationally, regionally, internationally to support that process of implementing agroecological transitions. And obviously, the principles relate to improving resource efficiency through input reduction and recycling, strengthening resilience through soil health, animal health, biodiversity, managing the synergies of the interactions at a system level, and economic diversification. But very importantly, ensuring social equity through co-creation of knowledge, social values and diets, fairness, connectivity amongst particularly producers and consumers, because we're interested here in whole food system transformation, responsible governance, and participation throughout the entire process. And that happening across scales from the farm through the landscape to the whole food system. And just one thing on the principles. They're very well explained in their relationship to the 10 elements of agroforestry of FAO that are fully incorporated in the principles. But there are 3 areas where we are working to refine the principles at the moment to ensure that agroecological intensification is clearly included, to ensure that water and fish are fully included, and to look at nesting these principles to try to simplify, keeping them all there, but putting them together so that we can talk about a smaller number of things than 13. So the Agroecology Coalition is related to the Committee on World Food Security in the HLPE report, and also to the group of Friends of Agroecology in Rome, where the ambassadors to or a group of the ambassadors to the Rome agencies have been trying to support the development of agroecology and were instrumental in getting agroecology onto the agenda in UNFSS. And the Transformative Partnership Platform on Agroecology, which is really more focused on evidence and on translating that evidence and evidence-based policy. So the slides will be available to you afterwards. There are links where you can go and get more information. There's a very simple article in Rural 21 that explains how the tables really did turn during UNFSS. Originally, agroecology wasn't on the agenda. By the end of the process, the strongest coalition emerging in terms of the number of countries signed up to it is the Coalition on Agroecology. So really revolutionary. Now there is an interim steering group made up of representatives of countries from each of the regions and from the constituent organizations like research, CSOs, different types of organization. And that is moving to create a permanent governing body and a secretariat that will report to that steering committee. So far, 5 working groups have been set up, one on policy, one on research and innovation, which the TPP is particularly concerned with, and one on public and private investment. There's then 2 more that cut across these on communication and advocacy and bringing it all together on implementation and focusing on actions taken nationally and locally on the ground. Now, David Nabarro talked about interdisciplinary research, but the coalition is about going further than that. It's transdisciplinary. And I think it's really important that we understand that. It's not just mixing disciplines together in an old-fashioned view of science. It's actually making the science transformative by being problem-oriented, or problem-focused, solution-oriented, involving stakeholders and their knowledge in the process, so the co-creation aspect, and being reflexive in methodology so that you change your methods evolve in order to ensure that action is resulting and transformation is resulting from the innovation that happens. That's all I'm going to say. You've got the links to join the coalition. There's a coalition website. Please get on that, download the form and join the coalition. Particularly important for member states, but also CSOs, well, any organization that will sign up to the 13 agroecological principles. Thank you.